people that were shoplifting at Walmart. So they had to, they were just letting them go for a long time. Well, now a judge has stepped in Michigan and is sentencing all of the Walmart shoplifters to set up car wash stations in the parking lots of Walmart. So they wash your car while you're shopping.
Don't leave any change in your cup holder.
No, I was thinking.
Navigating through the chaos of these modern days. Lost in the radio.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Radio Labyrinth. Hey, we're back, and Steph is off this week. We're going to talk about the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary special, which it's funny to me because I'm a person who hates everything. If you've ever listened to this show, I bitch and complain about everything.
He really does.
And I thought, well, why not just watch all of this tonight? All 3.5 or however long it was hours of this show, Saturday Night Live. It's a part of your life, part of your history. You've always loved it. So shut up, put everything away, don't distract yourself. And I ended up watching it and loving it, even the parts I didn't like. I overall loved the thing. And then I started talking to people about it. I'm like, oh, I didn't like this. I didn't like that. I didn't like this. I didn't like that. And I'm like, well, you suck. You suck. But you guys can attest that I'm pretty much a bitch about a lot of things.
You can say that again.
I'm pretty much a bitch about a lot of things.
But I overall enjoyed this wonderful walk down memory lane. I really did. From start to finish. There were some stuff I didn't like, so we'll talk about that. So the show opens pretty much with Paul Simon and Sabrina Carpenter singing Homeward Bound. Paul Simon is older than he was in 1975 and 1976, of course. Still able to sing and still able to play the guitar. Sabrina Carpenter, my problem with that wasn't the performance, it was that they changed the lyrics. Every day's an endless stream of cigarettes and magazines, and they changed it to airport lounges in magazine, which is weird, and I don't know why they did that. Apparently, I don't know. Does she not like cigarettes? Or was the network, you gotta change the lyrics. All of a sudden, it's the Doors on Ed Sullivan, you can't say hi. Stupid.
Yeah, it was probably her as opposed to the network, I would think.
Yeah, I bet it was her, too.
Yeah, I can't say cigarettes. Well, that's the line of the song. And the part of that line is a very important line in that song. Those words are very important because every day is an endless stream of cigarettes and magazines. He's bored. He's just going through life. He's chain smoking and reading magazines because he's bored. He's not at airport lounges all day long. So I didn't like that. Also, why not get Art? Doesn't he live in New York? Moving on, Steve Martin came out and did the monologue, which was really, really good. I believe John Mulaney and Martin Short also joined him on that.
Yeah, for a minute.
Do you have your passport on you? No. ICE, get him! No! I'll cooperate!
Yeah. But he was really funny. I felt great watching this. Now, the last one was, 10 years ago, and boy, that was a fast 10 years, wasn't it? And then they go right into the Lawrence Welk sketch, which I didn't like at all.
What?
I thought it was good.
Kristen Wiig? Come on.
No,
It was for
I
her.
like that. Yeah, I know, but she's done other. The Target lady would have been funnier, I think.
No.
Well, him doing
on.
Goulet, I mean, he had to do Goulet sometime in the night, and I thought it was a good choice. I thought that wasn't one of the sisters
Kardashian.
Yeah, one was Kardashian, which I was
One
like,
was-
really?
Yeah, Kim Kardashian. Well, she was a host. Kim Kardashian, Scarlett Johansson, and who was the other one?
Annie Gasteyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like, oh, they're opening with this. They're opening with this. You guys like it. That's cool. I didn't like it. And I liked the Goulet character that he did, but I liked it in the 90s a lot. I just thought it fell a little bit flat.
Well, it was weird. It was like he almost lost the impression a couple of times.
But when that came on, I was like, oh, God, is this what's going to be tonight? And then they go right into Black Jeopardy, which, by the way, was probably the second funniest sketch of the night.
This was my highlight of that entire show.
Yeah, you liked it better
Eddie
than
Murphy doing Tracy Morgan.
Look at this. Tracy Morgan. Big dog gonna make some big money.
Yeah, that was great. That was fun.
of Tracy Morgan.
Yeah.
I thought the segue to Chris Rock was a little weird. And you could tell he was a little nervous. Everybody was a little nervous. But I did like that Eddie making Tracy laugh, making Leslie laugh. She was great. She's always great. And of course, making Keenan break, which is hard to do, right? He doesn't always break. And then they cut away. Eddie stepped aside during the Chris Rock thing, and the Tom Hanks Doug character that they did the last time that he was on, or whatever. He did this character before, I think 2017 or something. And it was weird, like why they did that, because I wanted more Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
But I can't be like these people who are complaining, how dare they insult Trump voters. I saw these reactions. I'm like, that's totally not the point of the thing. The thing is that it's awkward to have a redneck white guy on a game show. That was the premise of the bit. And I thought it was funny. So sue me. I don't think it was an attack on anybody. Do you? I don't think it was.
No. People take it as an attack, then that's kind of a self-reflection you need to really look at.
Yeah, especially since that character has been on before, and I bet you most of the people complaining didn't know that. And then after that, you had the first collection of clips that was based on physical comedy. That was great. You know, they didn't do an awful lot of stuff with older people, and I know that there were complaints about that, but this is their 5th anniversary show or something like that. You know, they've had a lot of anniversary shows, so it's cool that they had a lot of the people from the last 15, 20 years on, more so than the older people.
Also, the older people are older people. I mean, they're senior citizens at this point. I mean, big time.
Garrett Morris.
Garrett Morris had to roll out in a wheelchair.
Right. The next thing was the Renewing Vows wedding band. I didn't particularly care for that one. Didn't hate it, but I was like, okay, I don't understand. Feel free to interrupt me here, guys, and yell at me if I'm wrong. Tina and Amy's Q&A was a home run, I thought. Very funny. Zach Galifianakis' jokes were the best in that. Those 2 jokes he had were fantastic. I love Keith Richards being in the audience.
Yeah, that scarf Zach Galifianakis was wearing.
Well, that's one thing.
It's
I'm
not
sure
here.
why
Stop looking for it.
All of them were so nervous. I mean, it's like doing a bit at the Oscars or something. You've got like everybody in your field that you respect in the audience looking at you. So that's got to be something.
After that, the SNL short, the Lonely Island short, was great. About anxiety. I think that was sort of a nod to Bill Hader, wasn't it? Because he's admitted that he suffers from anxiety.
I think that show's caused a lot of them to suffer anxiety.
I think everybody that was ever on the show has anxiety.
Mm-hmm. Miley Cyrus and Brittany Howard did Nothing Compares to You. I like that song a lot. I thought Brittany Howard was amazing, but I don't think Miley was the right voice for that.
No.
She just
not respectful of, in my opinion, of Sinead, for sure.
And Prince, who wrote the song, even sang it better than that.
Yeah.
Miley just she just has this style. Then the news came on, which was another home run. The drunk girl at the party, is that what the character's name is? Or the girl that you don't want to talk to?
Yeah.
It was nice to see.
The very pregnant girl you don't want to talk to at the party.
Yeah, no doubt. Drunk uncle. Funny. I didn't really care for Lauren's childhood friends or whatever that was. That was a little too long. And then they had Bill Murray come on to rank the anchors, and I took umbrage with this. Now, was this serious, or was it just to set up Brian Doyle as the number one? It said Colin, and he's like, "Is it you?"
Yeah.
It was Colin Quinn. I do think that Dennis Miller definitely has to be above any other than Norm, has to be above the people that came after him. I thought it was Norm, Chevy, and then Dennis. That's my top 3 in that order. But that was a nice nod to Brian Doyle Murray, and a great admittance that Norm is going to always be the number one.
Yeah.
When it comes to that news cast, the Space Force alien abductees, that one killed me. When Meryl Streep
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Meryl Streep's first time ever on Saturday Night Live.
I know
she cracked.
She did crack, but she was funny. Yeah. Who else was in that? Oh yeah, Woody Harrelson was funny as the Stone. Hey, yeah, man, this is great. Lorraine Newman and Pete Davidson in that Chad segment.
Yeah.
I fucking died of that too.
Okay.
It was very nice to see Jack Nicholson stand up and introduce Adam Sandler, which was, I have to say, my favorite. I guess it was my favorite part of the night. I got a little misty-eyed there.
You got verklempt?
I got verklempt. I got teary. Yeah. It was wonderful. And then they went into the SNL musical. Mulaney again. Pete Davidson, David Spade, who in the middle of it just disappeared. And he goes, I got where I'm going.
I got a feel for it.
Yeah, I got a feel for it. What did they do? They did Little Shop of Horrors, Hamilton. What else? Les Mis. Tributes throughout. It was like different decades and stuff, and a lot of special guests. If you haven't seen any of these, most of them are on YouTube. I would, Bronx Beat. I thought, oh no, I thought that was going to be
with Miles Teller.
Miles Teller was awkward, but then Mike Myers comes out as Linda Richmond, saves it. And then Chappelle introduces Lil Wayne, which I'd never really listened to any Lil Wayne songs, and I was glued to it. Now, again, this is me who bitches about everything, liking what I'm seeing.
Chappelle's ban ended.
Why was he banned?
Because he did stuff in the monologue that Lauren told him not to.
Oh, and so Lauren was mad at him?
Yeah, he said he was banned. Like 2 weeks after the show, he was doing a stand-up set in California somewhere and said Lauren told him he was banned.
Wasn't that a couple months ago? When did he host?
It's like a month ago, yeah.
Yeah, like a month ago.
Yeah. Well, he's back.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks came out and did the In Memoriam, which was touching when it was talking about people who were gone, but they did leave some people out, I imagine.
Yeah, it wasn't like a real In Memoriam.
No.
I liked it, though.
I liked it,
the rest in peace to all the shit that they can't do on Saturday Night Live anymore.
Yeah, I didn't like that because they showed the clip from the job interview word association from Chevy Chase and Richard Pryor, which was written by Richard Pryor and who is this friend Paul, that comedian Paul Mooney. They wrote that, and I don't think that they would appreciate that it was censored. The point of that was continuing escalation and Richard Pryor pushing back. And again, it was written by Pryor and Paul Mooney, not in Chevy just had his little.
And now that they're both not here to complain about it, they can do whatever they want.
Of course. And then I didn't like them blurring out the people, although they didn't blur out Fred Armisen as that former governor of New York who was blind.
Yeah.
Did they have Pat on there, or was it missed?
I didn't see Pat.
I didn't see Pat.
Debbie Downer was too long.
Yeah, and she was, I don't know, she was kind of off, I thought.
Yeah. And what came after Debbie Downer? I kind of lost all my notes there. The Scared Straight.
Yeah.
Right? Which I didn't expect. My favorite line in that is, all the way, Ray, never does.
Yeah, that was mine too.
Keenan wrote that bit. That was the only bit that he's ever written that's made it to the stage. And
really?
He wrote it like 15 years ago or something. And with the writers, and they put it on the shelf. And they brought it out for this. He said, I got to do my only bit with all my heroes. So that was awesome.
Yeah. Sudeikis. And then when Phil comes out as Big Red or whatever. Funny. Very funny. I think by then maybe he'd had a couple of drinks. And then they went to break and came back. And Paul McCartney came out and did the three final songs of the Abbey Road medley. And even though he can't really sing, I was still overwhelmed by that performance. I was like, I got a little weepy. And that was sort of a subtle nod to Chris Farley, who, remember in that classic, when was it, 93? Paul's on there. You remember when you wrote, what is the line? Remember when you wrote, the love you make is equal to the love you take? Is that true? That's awesome. All in all, I think it was a home run, and it actually got me interested in watching the show again, even the new ones, because I don't know any of the cast members really. So it did, it was very nostalgic, and I was flummoxed by people saying that they didn't like anything. It was too much and this and that. Hey, Jeff saw the Captain America Brave New World. Your thoughts, please.
Oh, yeah, I liked it. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Why is it getting such terrible reviews?
Yeah, I don't know, because it's not your typical Captain America Marvel movie.
Is it more like the Winter Soldier in him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my friend Tony said it was more a story than CGI fights and nonsense that you can't follow. And he really liked Harrison Ford as the Red Hulk.
Yeah. I mean, it's comics wise, it goes right, in that alley. But, I was wondering because they had to do so many reshoots and and changes if it was going to make sense by the end of it. But I'm still interested in seeing it.
I'll watch it when it's streaming.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm just bored. I need something to do.
Well, hey, it's better than sitting at home, right? Rest in peace to actor Biff Wiff.
Yeah, that's sad. I thought he had gotten better.
What did he have? Cancer?
Yeah. Well, I thought he was like in remission or whatever.
I didn't know he was in a bunch of other things.
Yeah, he's been in a ton of stuff going back years and years. Like I think he was on Alice and shit.
Really?
Yeah.
I just knew him. We all know him from I Think You Should Leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when the Saturday Night Live thing, just to get back to that, since Tim Robinson, I Think You Should Leave.
Yeah.
There was a cool YouTube video I watched that how he failed upwards when he left SNL.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that I didn't know that Lauren had said, you stay here as a writer for 3 years and finish your contract. That was pretty cool of him to do. But I've just been now doing rabbit hole stuff, watching old SNL stuff. This always happens if I get interested in something, so I'm enjoying that as well. Find a lot of that on TikTok and YouTube. And YouTube, they have tons of sketches from every single season that are actually legit NBC things. Now on the app, do they have completely unedited shows? I can't imagine that if they have Billy Crystal doing Sammy Davis Jr., which, by the way, Sammy Davis Jr. loved. I'm sure that they cut that out, don't you think?
I haven't got to that season yet. I'm wondering if they're going to edit stuff.
Not a lot of... How many people from the Dick Ebersol series were there? Eddie Murphy was there. Piscopo wasn't.
Yeah, Piscopo was there. He looked terrible, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was there.
They showed him in the audience, and my God, he looked like a monster.
He has that black hair. It's jet black. And he doesn't have jet black hair. He's old and gray. He's still physically fit.
He looked worse than Nicholson.
Lovitz was
Lovitz was there. He was at the American Girl doll store across the street.
Oh, yeah.
They couldn't fit him in the room.
And then Anthony Michael Hall not there?
No.
I didn't see him.
Mm-mm.
Are you doing a rewatch? Are you watching all the old ones?
Yeah, every now and then I'll watch a couple episodes here and there.
Did you watch the first episode when they aired that Saturday night?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I watched Saturday Night again on Netflix before.
And that's right.
I started the episode right after.
Yeah, I forgot that on that first episode, how many monologues Carlin had.
Yeah, well, that's what it was about, right?
Four different monologues.
Yeah. I bet he wasn't as big of a dick as the movie made him out to be, though.
No. That sounded like it was an opinion-based character in that movie.
Right.
Same thing with Henson in that movie.
Oh, yeah. Well, the actor who played Henson played another role, too, right? Who else did he play?
Played Andy Kaufman.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right. Here's some stories that we've been following at the Radio Labyrinth news desk. All right, other stuff going on in the world of entertainment and pop culture and stuff that's not necessarily SNL or Elon Musk knocking up an e-thought. Vince Gilligan and Rhea Seehorn are going to be doing a new series that he wrote for her. It's going to be on Apple Plus. It's done. It's in the can and ready to be released. It's a science fiction show, and I don't know the name of it because I don't think it's in here, is it? It's not in the story. Yeah, they shot it in Albuquerque, so maybe it's a science fiction post Better Call Saul type of thing. Probably not, though.
No.
But there's going to be a science fiction, psychological thriller type of thing to it, and I think we're all down to watch anything with her in it, especially
anything that Vince Gilligan does.
Yeah, he writes.
Right.
Did you guys see that that kayaker off the coast of Chile that got swallowed by a whale?
Yeah. I saw that. Did it go in his mouth? Did the whale swallow him and spit him out?
Yeah.
Yeah, completely swallowed him, and I guess realized what it had done, or that it wasn't what it wanted, and then just spit him back out. But I mean, just to be on a kayak, I mean, always see those guys on kayaks, like gliding across, and you're like, man, something could take them out so easy. And then the worst thing you could possibly think of happens.
The best way to not almost get eaten by a whale is to not do that in the ocean. Do not go in the ocean. You can walk out to your knees. That's my rule in the ocean, out to your knees. And even then, stingrays, jellyfish, Portuguese man of war, I don't want any of that.
No, not at all.
I got like a pool. In a pool, you can see what's below you, and there's usually not dangerous fish.
Well, as long as you haven't watched the movie Alligator
Yeah.
when you were a kid, then you can.
No, I saw
in the pool.
Alligator. Right.
They turn those lights on.
They announced they're making Goonies 2.
Finally, we have confirmation. Go back and watch our buddy Corey Feldman saying, well, I don't know. We don't have a time machine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Tell us about it. What's going on? Is it in the works? Are they shooting it? What?
Yeah, it's in the works. I'm sure it's because of Ki-Hugh Kwan being so popular, getting Oscar nominations and shit.
Yeah. And Corey said that the only way that it would happen, besides the time machine that he brought up, was if Spielberg was at the helm, which we all thought at the time, there's no way Spielberg will do this. But I guess, like you said, with Kwan being so popular and then all the rest of them pretty much still being popular, Corey aside, but looks like they're going to do it. I'm curious to see which avenue they're going to take. But like I told you guys when we first heard this, it will never outlive the hype that's going to be heaped upon it.
Right.
No.
It'll flounder for everyone who has been waiting for 30 years for this to happen.
I think though it'll be better than Beetlejuice 2.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice. It'll be better than Top Gun 2. Oh, that's not the title. Yeah, but we're calling it that. Kevin Spacey clawed back at Guy Pearce. Guy Pearce was doing a press tour for something and told the interviewer that he felt uncomfortable on a set, the L.A. Confidential set with Kevin Spacey, and Kevin Spacey put out a video. Dustin put a little bit of it up here, or a teaser or two, and his basically said, grow up. If you had a problem with me, why didn't you say something then?
I've now read the comments that you made about me, and while I would have preferred not to have to play this out in the media, you obviously have your own reasons for wanting to do exactly that. But did you also, by the way, tell the press that a year after we shot LA Confidential, you flew to Savannah, Georgia, while I was shooting Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, just to spend time with me? I mean, did you tell the press that too? Or does that not fit into the victim narrative you have going?
Spacey's never going to act again, is he?
He may act again, but he'll never be the height that he was.
But he was acquitted twice.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
And no one has ever pinned anything on him. Why does he have to suffer? He's such a good actor.
Yeah. That's just add that to the list of whys.
I buy what he's saying, though. Guy Pearce, though, if this happened during why didn't you say something then? Are you afraid of Kevin Spacey, Guy Pearce?
I don't know what the hierarchy was at the time.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I can't do anything now. I'm banned from being in Hollywood. And all my Epstein Island friends are either incarcerated or have killed themselves. So I'm going to have to align myself with Donald Trump if I want to get any of that sweet MAGA money. But I'm not ready to do that because I'm Kevin Spacey. All right, go ahead.
The Pit was renewed for season 2 already, and it's still only halfway in season 1.
Doggone it, I got to watch the first season.
So
I watched the first episode of that, and it is like an amusement park ride.
Yeah.
What is it?
You just sit down and hold
the
on.
ER.
Yeah, it's ER. It's like a modern Raw ER.
Okay.
Yeah, no punches pulled.
Brad Dourif's daughter is in it?
Yep.
Yeah,
She's great.
yeah, she's real good.
She's a nurse or a doctor, but she's got an ankle monitor on.
Why? DUI
For some reason, they haven't said yet.
They haven't said yet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
What
and she's got her
network is
dad's
that girl that
demeanor
played
too.
Data's daughter on Star Trek, isn't it?
Data's daughter or
Yeah.
the scientist's daughter?
The android Data daughter.
Oh, okay. Issa Briones. Can't say her name. Is that her name?
I don't know what her name is.
Yeah. All
I
right.
just refer to everybody by their characters' names. Data's daughter.
That's smart. That's the best way to do things if you can't remember. I didn't know
Doris daughter's that chick, the girl from Chucky.
Yeah.
Chucky series.
I didn't know that that he had a daughter who acted, so that's pretty cool. I guess I'll check this out. I'm caught up on a couple of other things, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
The Pit.
Yeah, it's good.
And it's kind of like 24 where they're doing one 15-hour shift. So every episode is 1 hour of the shift.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
No, it's cool.
And a lot of the,
I wouldn't do
doctors, a lot of doctors have said that it is exactly like an ER, like a real ER. Let's see. Did you guys know who Lily Phillips is?
Yeah, she banged 1,000 guys or something in one day.
Well, there's Lily Phillips, and then there's Bonnie Blue. I think one's from the UK and one's from Australia.
Okay.
And one did 100 gentlemen in a day, and the other did 1,000 in a day. And it came out that one of them, Bonnie Blue, I believe, said that she was having cravings, and so the rumor started that she was pregnant. And within a couple of hours, Lily Phillips, who was trying to outdo her, said, "Oh yes, I'm pregnant."
No, I had nothing to do with it. I don't do gangbangs. I'm too busy with Doge to do gangbangs. So
send us some of that Doge money, Elon.
I said I floated an idea that everybody can get $5,000 check from the government. That's probably not going to go anywhere, but it would be nice, wouldn't it, to get $5,000 from the government for doing nothing, even though we had to fire thousands of people. But
that $5,000 is a good severance check for a lot of those people you fired.
No, I'm giving it to you. You don't work for the government. They get
neither do those people anymore.
Not anymore, but they have pension buyouts and things. So wouldn't that be nice? So you get a free. No, I'm not giving away cars; they're too expensive. Oh, did you guys watch the trailer for "Thank You Very Much"?
Which one's that?
That is the new, I believe. What is Zafty Brothers? How do you say their names?
Yeah, Zafty Brothers.
Zafty Brothers. They a couple people have produced this new documentary about Andy Kaufman, which comes out on the 28th. Limited release, but it'll also be available digitally.
Yeah.
28th of March.
Yeah.
28th of March. It looks really good.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that looks really good.
On the last story, I had all those people that were shoplifting at Walmart, so they had to, they were just letting them go for a long time. Well, now a judge has stepped in Michigan and is sentencing all of the Walmart shoplifters to set up car wash stations in the parking lots of Walmart, so they wash your car while you're shopping.
Don't leave any change in your cup holder.
No, I was thinking.
Hey, if you're in Conyers and you're hungry, or if you're in any part of the area near Conyers, Georgia, which is right outside of Atlanta, Georgia, and you're hungry and you want some really good pizza or gyros, why not check out Atlanta Pizza and Gyro? They've proudly been serving the East Metro Atlanta area for over 40 years. They're a great place to be this winter, and Atlanta Pizza and Gyro is ready for the holiday season. Now, no need to break traffic laws and smuggle it in from Texas, you bandits. Stop by AP&G and get $3.50 Coors Banquet stubby bottles and more. They've got the best gyros, pizzas and hot subs, and Greek and Italian specialties around. Stop by Monday through Friday, 11 to 9 p.m., and on Saturday from noon to 9 p.m. They are closed on Sundays. Tuesday nights, they have team trivia from 7 to 8:30. Bring your smartest friends and test your trivia knowledge against the best Conyers has to offer. And if it's just like Dustin, for example, you have a good chance of winning.
Or wash my hair with their house dressing.
Or you put one of those caps on so it really soaks into your scalp.
Exactly. And then whatever drips out in the night makes like a lovely little 2 a.m. snack.
By the way, their food truck is on blocks until the end. No, for the winter. I'm sorry.
For the winter season?
Yeah. All right. Hey, do you have a commercial or residential construction printing need? Well, what are you waiting for? Contact LDI Repro Printing of Athens. They've been in Athens, Georgia since 2005 with fast turnaround and affordable prices. Call 706-316-9366 or email them at athens@ldiline.com.
Guys, are you reading the online comments?
Gotta read some of these comments.
I'm loving your guys' comments.
You're reading your own comments?
Yeah, they're really good. I worked hard on them.
The secret is don't read the comment card.
Now is the time of the show when we read your YouTube comments. We love your YouTube comments. And also, as we began last week, we are reading our Facebook group, which is the Radio Shack comments. So from YouTube, we have I believe Dustin posted this question. Which story surprised you the most this week? Was it Kanye's $8 million Super Bowl flop, or Vince Neil's wild jet accident, or maybe David Miniature's incredible TV and movie dioramas? Drop your thoughts below. And Caleb said, I was mostly surprised that Vince Neil had a private jet.
So were we.
Yeah.
He also wrote, great show. Tim singing Tool lyrics in different voices should definitely make more appearances in future shows. Gladly.
All right.
Katrina says, hey guys, it's frozen in Detroit. It's so cold in the D. It's going to be cold here tonight. Brr.
Yeah.
Fuxie said, really not one mention of the Mountain Dew commercial with Seal as a seal?
That was a funny commercial.
Was a
That's a
weird
good-looking
commercial.
seal.
Yes. That was last week. We were talking about the Super Bowl. Roby says, I was at a friend's house watching the game. A few 13-year-olds were sitting next to me and wondering how that many dancers were exiting the car. I told them, you don't understand just how big the interior of that car was. Take out the seats and you had enough room for an entire football team. In fact, I know for a fact the trunk is so big you can fit 4 or 5 bodies in there alone. JJ says the Human Torch.
Like 8 if they're dead hookers.
Right, that's true. I never seen so many dead hookers. JJ weighed in on us talking about the Fantastic Four. The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. I get it now.
Scotch.
Yes. We had a couple of polls up. Which series should we follow next on the show, where we do recaps, mini recaps, not really deep dives? And overwhelmingly, The Righteous Gemstones won with 69% to Yellow Jackets at 15%, which I'm happy about because I noped out in the first episode of the 3rd season.
Yeah, no more, what's her name? Natalie.
Yeah, that show. Go ahead.
No, I mean, but there's so much flashback happening that there's still a lot. The only thing that bothered me, I watched the first 2. It's a continuation of the 2nd season, I think, at least the ideas they were doing. The only problem I have is that all the girls look like they aged 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
And they're still there. And the one girl that plays, I forget her character, but the one that cuts all the meat up and everything.
Yeah.
She looks like she's about a foot taller than what she was last season.
What I think about this show is that it's going to end up getting into Lost territory where it just keeps going a little bit too long. It's a cool story, and I think
I have a feeling it's going to do some of that Lost shit too, where they don't explain the supernatural shit.
It shows like the teacher still running around, and he just finds a giant case of MREs and like survival stuff buried in the ground. That was weird.
I hope a smoke monster gets him off.
Yeah. Polar bears for all of them.
Our other poll was, do you think Kanye can make a comeback? And overwhelmingly, 59% of people said, I stopped caring long ago. And we don't need to read the others because I think we all agree with that. If you want to comment, we'll be posting more and more throughout the weeks as we go on the Radio Labyrinth Facebook group, Radio Shack. And the other night I posted, almost immediately after the show, as soon as it was available, I posted the Adam Sandler tribute song and asked people to comment on that. Emily says, this brought tears to my eyes last night. The rest of the show was great celebrity spotting, but the skits were so-so. Mike Hall, our sponsor, said, great tribute. Sandman did a great job. Couldn't agree more. Jerry Fuchs said, solid stuff. Very touching, too. And that's Fuchsy.
Yeah.
Tracy says, yep, I thought it was the best part. Lots of nostalgia throughout for my husband and I. We watched with our 18-year-old, and he laughed at more than I expected. That's shocking. Definitely that's shocking.
Yeah.
Ira Malkin. You remember Ira Malkin? He was one of the original hosts of this show. Fucking Ira. He said, lots of chuckles, a handful of huge laughs, but all in all, pretty damn epic. Che Butler said, nice tribute. Still doesn't beat his Farley tribute from his Netflix special a few years back. That one had me all in the feels. I agree with you there. That was wonderful.
Yeah.
We saw that live.
Yeah.
Gus said he loved it. And Jason Andrews, whoever that may be. Oh, wait, that's my brother. He said, where was Bill Hader? Dan Aykroyd. Sandler was great. The Nathan Lane Cocaine and Some Vodka song was cool. And Eddie Murphy's Tracy Morgan was fire.
Nathan Lane song, that was good.
Yeah.
That was funny.
All right. Are we doing this again? Since last week was such a dynamic. Since last week was such a ginormous success where I did a voice I can't do.
Yeah.
Time for text impressions. All right. The premise of this is Dustin and Jeff will text me some copy, and I have to read it in a voice of their agreed upon choosing. So who am I unable to do this week?
You look at the text, but this week the voice will be
Shelby Foote.
will be Shelby Foote.
Do people know who Shelby Foote is?
Tell them who Shelby Foote is.
Shelby Foote is a Civil War historian, an overall historian who has long since passed away, but he's one of my favorite people in I guess that realm of pop culture. He was pretty much came into great prominence during the Ken Burns' Civil War documentary, which is now problematic because there's images of the Confederate flag, and that seems to scare some people for some reason. But Jeff and Dustin wrote some copy here, and oh my God, I just read it. I skipped ahead, and so I have to read it. I don't know it. I don't see it until I do this. Okay. So the first one that came from Dustin, and this one says, "Folks, I once ate an entire wheel of cheese in one sitting, and let me tell you, my digestive system filed for divorce immediately. It packed its little bags, left a little note on the fridge that said, 'Good luck, stupid,' and walked out of my body like an angry tenant whose rent just got doubled. I spent the next 72 hours questioning my life choices, praying to any deity that would listen, and making deals with the plumbing gods. I swear at one point I heard my stomach whisper, 'You did this to yourself, you dairy-loving son of a bitch.'" And that tickled me. That tickled me. Did you write that, Dustin?
Yes, I did.
It takes a sick mind to come up with stuff like that.
Thank you very much.
All right, now this one is from Jeff Lieboff, and he somehow gave me some crazy lyrics here from some hip-hop group called NWA. What does that stand for, Dustin?
Northwest Airlines.
That's what I thought. Northwest Airlines.
Exactly
it was my favorite rap group of the late 90s, early 90s, whatever. I know this song. I heard it before. My great-grandchildren listened to it. It tickled me to hear these young people from out west singing these songs. You'd rather see me in the pen than me and Lorenzo rolling in the benzo. Beat the police out of shape, and when I'm finished, bring the yellow tape. The tape off the scene of the slaughter, still getting swole off bread and water. Police. 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 All right, thank you. That was fun.
Views.
Or.
And snooze.
All right, Jeff, time for a little views and snooze.
All right. Last week was Cobra Kai, which I started watching the final 5 episodes. I'm kind of parceling them out, though. I don't want to watch them all at once. Sly Lives, which I haven't watched yet, but I want to. And Yellow Jackets. 2 episodes came out, but I only watched 1.
Yeah, I made it halfway through the first one.
Or I'll keep watching it, but
we didn't have.
We're not recapping it.
You know, we didn't have White Lotus on there, did we?
No, but that started.
Yeah, I watched that. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was very good.
You guys dig it?
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
There's a little more of him than I wanted to see.
Yeah, incest, horny weirdo, jacking off his brother, and I think he's going to bang his sister. Who knows? But what I just love it. I love how all the different characters are sort of unraveling or revealing themselves.
Yeah, what's Walton Goggins doing there?
I don't know.
You think that guy's his dad or something?
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
And I forget the name of the character. Uncle, what's his name from?
Uncle Baby Billy?
Baby Billy.
No, from Napoleon Dynamite, that actor. I thought that
yeah, Uncle Rico.
I thought that character died, but he's there?
Yeah, no, he didn't die.
Okay.
Jennifer Coolidge died, though.
Spoiler alert.
All right, this week, Reacher Season 3 starts. I already watched all of it.
Oh, you already did?
Yeah, I got to watch those screeners.
Oh, yeah, you get them ahead of time.
Yeah.
How do you get screeners?
You got them, too, from Amazon.
Right, I hooked you up with them.
I was going to say, you guys keep getting this shit.
So they're good? You liked it?
Yeah, it's really good. Persuader's one of the better Reacher books. I don't know, it's probably ranked in the bottom of the top 10, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's such a good representation of that
guy
character.
that got to play the the giant, because this book always had a dude that was like twice the size of Reacher, which is an accomplishment because Reacher's fucking huge.
Yeah.
But when this guy's on screen with him, Reacher looks like a fucking baby. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I like the first season, so I guess I'll watch 2 and this one.
Yeah, so good. 0 Day, this is that Robert De Niro movie where he plays the president.
That's a no. I'm not watching. That's a no. I'm not watching it. I don't buy it. He's too old.
I'll check it out.
Too old.
And 1923 comes back, which I can't wait for on Paramount Plus. Harrison Ford, Yellowstone prequel.
My favorite scene in this season is I turn into a Red Hulk and rip him.
I split Helen Mirren in half.
Fuck her as the Green Hulk, or as the Red Hulk.
Now I'm looking forward to it since their kid finally got to town. It took them all of season 1 to get there.
Well, I got 3 fucking episodes of Landman to finish that show, and then I got to go back and watch 1923 because I started it and then I didn't finish it because I don't know. That's just how I am. But Landman, so I like. Tyler Sheridan's a good showrunner. Maybe someday I'll get the gumption up to watch Yellowstone.
Podcasts and audiobooks, I think we're all on our various levels of Dungeon Crawler Carl. Jeff and I still on 4, and I think, Dustin, what are you on, 7 now?
No, I'm in the middle of 6 right now. Right. But that's the thing. They jump up, like 6 is 26 hours.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's a lot longer. But
I got to finally 28 hours.
I got to finally hear the Patrick Warburton with Carl, and hearing them together back and forth. You can hear the resemblance, but it's really cool to hear him in the book.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
As usual, Saturday I watched Tim Dillon. Thought that was funny. I listened to No Agenda for the first time since last October. No Agenda, John C. Dvorak and Adam Curry. If you don't know who that is, he used to be a VJ with the big hair on MTV. Nick Swardson on We Might Be Drunk with Sam Morrell and Mark Normand. Those guys sound like morning show hosts, don't they?
Yes.
Morning show radio hosts.
They do, for sure.
The way they talk like this, ha 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 ha. But good Norm stories, if you're into that. What else did I watch? I watched Critical Drinker. One of his latest episodes is called Production Hell. It ends with us. Pretty much if you're interested in that whole thing with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, he sort of breaks down exactly what happened throughout. And at the end, he goes, "You make your own mind. Go away." He's like, at the end, he just lays it all out and he goes, "I don't really care either way. Now go away."
I bought the Norm audiobook. It came out yesterday or today. Just
the Lorne?
Lorne, yeah.
Did he write it? Or is it about
No, it's written by an author.
Oh, that lady.
But she had like unlimited access to Lorne.
Yeah.
They had her on Fly on the Wall today, too. I haven't had a chance to listen to it. But they had the author on Fly on the Wall. And I listened to Adam Scott on Conan. Talk about Severance. It's a pretty good episode. And
I have to get into that, don't I? I have to get into Severance. I absolutely have to. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, you're not watching Severance?
Man, it's too much to watch.
I have no fucking clue what's going on that show, but I love it.
Everybody that says if you like,
well and shot so well.
Everyone says if you love Twin Peaks, you're going to love this show. So
that's what I would put it up against. Closest to is Twin Peaks. Just for weirdness alone.
Yeah, I have no clue what's going on. The people saying that it's on another planet.
Yeah, okay. Or a different dimension.
Or, another dimension or something.
Yeah. Let's see. I watched the Happy Sad Confused podcast. He usually has a lot of celebrities and stuff on there, but it happens to be the 20th anniversary of the Constantine movie.
I like that movie.
Yeah, I did too. And he had Keanu Reeves on and the prop master for the movie. So they had like the gun and everything, and they were talking about it. And of course, they are making a sequel that is coming out. So that, like the Goonies 2, had been ongoing rumor for years and years. And finally, it's going to actually happen. So that was cool.
Nice.
But that's about it.
Yeah, right.
He's too old to make another John Wick, but he can make another Constantine movie. Come on.
Yeah.
Ever since I saw Constantine, I've always wanted the devil to appear and just rip all the negative crap out of my lungs. Staff picks this week. Our staff picks are, mine is Rick Beato. He does a YouTube show about music and popular music. He does it right here in Atlanta. It's extremely popular. His most recent guests are Robbie Krieger and John Densmore, the guitar player and drummer for The Doors, who are the last remaining Doors members who haven't passed away. From inside the studio, they recorded their first album, and there's a lot of great stories if you're a fan of The Doors, stuff maybe you didn't hear about before, but really cool.
I would watch it if it was by anybody else but other than him.
Yeah.
You don't like Rick Beato?
He's a dick.
Yeah. Oh, tell me why?
No, he is a musician snob, and he discounts a lot of great musicians because they're not classically technical players. And,
really?
Being a musician myself, I think it's just a form of snobbery in the music industry that was gone years ago, and he's just like bringing it back.
So
episode by episode.
Did you pick that up by watching it, or have you seen him in other places? Like, I don't even know who he is.
Oh no, I've seen it by watching it. I mean, he's very popular, like you said, and with a lot of musicians. But then when you start watching it, you realize that he discounts a certain kind of musician, which, in my opinion, that's there's no reason to divide them up and put them in a category, but he does, and he uses it like a hierarchy of in his mind, whether it's good or not. And I just think that's kind of a dickish move to do.
Well, there it is. I won't watch him anymore.
No, if you want to watch him. I feel that he's
he does good interviews and stuff.
Disingenuous when it comes to
he's full of himself.
Yes, very much.
Yeah, that's why I've never reached out to him to come on the show.
He seems very happy with himself.
Yeah, very snobby.
Mine's Suits LA starts this week.
Oh,
new spinoff of Suits.
The princess going to be on it?
What?
The princess be on it?
No, she won't be on it.
Oh, that's not cool.
I hope Harvey Specter shows up some.
I didn't watch the original show, but everybody loves Suits.
Yeah, last Christmas, everybody in my family was watching Suits because it was on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Finally.
And you had already seen every episode.
I already watched it 12 years ago.
Yeah. Thanks.
Where were you people 12 years ago when I wanted to talk about it? But this new show is by the same creator and everything.
Right.
And it's got Stephen Amell as the lead. Dude that was in Heels.
Yeah.
And he was Arrow.
He was Green Arrow.
Yeah, Green Arrow.
Let's see. Mine, I've got two. One is The Gorge. It's on Apple Plus.
Yeah, I watched it. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I watched. I mean, it's a Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy. It's kind of a mix of action and romance and sci-fi. Two elite snipers are hired from two different parts of the world to guard two different sides of this giant gorge, and the idea is to keep things from coming out of the gorge. It's been hidden by governments and companies for 75 years or whatever, and it's pretty neat as far as an original sci-fi story.
The monsters looked cool.
Yeah, and the concept behind it. Once it got towards the end in the actual third act, it was a little hokey, but but it was good as far as a original sci-fi movie goes, especially for Apple. So it didn't have a lot of the Apple stuff attached to it like a lot of their stuff does.
Yeah.
Also, Bob Mould from Sugar and Husker Du, he released a new album today called Neanderthal, and it's available on SoundCloud, and it sounds
good, isn't it?
Really good. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
He's been dropping singles every now and then.
Yeah, for a couple of months. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've liked them. I've always liked Bob Mould.
Yeah, I fell in love with him as Sugar in the 90s. That was just
weren't they an awesome pop punk band?
Oh yeah.
That for not Beaster so much, which was the follow up, but
I think Copper Blue.
Copper Blue was one of the soundtrack to the years that it was out.
Yeah.
Before that, he did Black Sheets of Rain, which was his second solo album. Before that, what was the name of that first one he did? Was it Sunspots? That's a song on there.
That's one of the songs. I'm not sure if it's the name of them.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't think of it, but Workbook is the name of that album.
Okay.
His first solo album. And a lot of people who were into Husker Du were pissed because it was sort of, there was an acoustic guitar in it.
Yeah.
But do you get into Husker Du?
I never got into Husker Du. I mean, I did. I appreciate them and I kind of like them, but Mold stuff with Sugar and the more poppy stuff that he did, was really up my alley. I like them both. But not equally.
Let's do some plugs and stuff. Thanks, dudes. Trambles is back. There's a fresh episode this week that's in our audio feed of any of our podcatchers. If you listen to Radio Labyrinth only through the audio feed, Trambles is there. A lot of me making fun of Elon Musk and doing his voice this week. And if you're looking for a cameo, I can do a cameo for you. Just go to cameo.com and click on the link that Dustin put here because I never remember my username. We are updating and will be updating over the next couple of weeks Patreon levels, Patreon membership with all brand new, exciting, fun things. We're also going to be recording our Radios in the Dark. Well, we always do it live, the four of us, and but it's going to be live to Patreon members. And we're going to have all sorts of things you can contribute. So stick around, stay tuned. And that is patreon.com/Tim Andrews if you're so interested. But right now I want to thank our executive producers. And the executive producer level right now is $25. It's going to stay that way. So thank you to John Allen, Matt Carter, Chris Chandler, Mike D, Jim Fortner, Terry Fuller, Roby Neely, Jeff Peterson, Tim Slayton, and Brian and Chelsea Smith. Thank you guys very, very much. And again, remember to like and subscribe and comment below and turn on your alerts and all that stuff. And in case I'm leaving anything out, please remember to
keep it canon.
Keep it canon.
Please say all good things come to an end.
What's that got to do with this show?
Lost in the radio.